The text came in around noon on a Tuesday. I was at my desk, halfway through reviewing some code when my phone buzzed. Spending the week at Dad's. He's not feeling well. Don't worry, just need some company and help around the house. I stared at the screen for a moment. Typed back quickly. Send him my best. Hope he feels better soon. Simple. Supportive. Exactly what a concerned husband should say. Except something felt off. Her dad, Gerald, had just gotten back from a fishing trip in Montana 3 days ago. I knew this because he'd sent me photos of a massive trout he caught. The guy looked healthier than I did, grinning in his waders with a cooler full of fish. I set my phone down and went back to work, but the message kept nagging at me. Maybe he caught something on the trip. People get sick. It happens. But she didn't mention what was wrong. No details. No, he has the flu, or his back is acting up again. Just vague enough to not invite questions. I picked up my phone again and opened our shared location app. We'd set it up years ago, one of those relationship transparency things. I barely used it anymore. The pin dropped on my screen. She wasn't at her father's house. The location showed a place called Clearwater Springs Resort, about 3 hours north. I zoomed in. The pin sat right on top of what looked like a cluster of cabins near a lake. I felt my jaw tighten. Clearwater Springs. I'd heard of it. Couples retreat. Romantic getaways. Definitely not a place you go to take care of your sick father. I closed the app and sat back in my chair. My mind was already running through possibilities, none of them good. Maybe she was picking something up nearby. Maybe the location was wrong. Maybe there was some logical explanation I wasn't seeing. Or maybe I was about to confirm what I'd been suspicious about for the past 2 months. The late nights at work. The new password on her phone. The way she'd pull away when I tried to kiss her, then act like nothing was wrong. Small things. Easy to ignore individually. But when you line them all up, they start to form a picture. I opened my laptop and pulled up the resort's website. Clearwater Springs Resort and Spa. Luxury accommodations. Private bungalows. Couples packages. I clicked through the booking section, pretending to reserve a room. The site asked for a confirmation number to view existing reservations. I didn't have one, but I had her email password. We'd shared it years ago for joint accounts and never changed it. I logged into her email from my phone. Searched Clearwater Springs. There it was. Confirmation for Bungalow 23. Check-in Monday. Check-out Sunday. A full week. Guest name. Her name. And B. Whitaker. I read the name 3 times. Brandon Whitaker. Her co-worker. The guy she'd mentioned a few times in passing. Oh, Brandon helped me with that project. Brandon suggested this restaurant. Always casual. Always innocent. I leaned back and stared at the ceiling. Got up. Walked to the kitchen. Poured myself a glass of water. Drank it. Poured another. Came back to my desk and read the email again. Nothing had changed. My phone buzzed. Another text from her. Dad's resting now. Going to make him some soup. Miss you. I looked at the message. At the little heart emoji she'd added at the end. Typed back. Take care of him. Let me know if you need anything. Sent it. Set the phone down. Opened my contacts and scrolled to the name of the lawyer who'd handled my brother's divorce 2 years ago. I wasn't going to yell. Wasn't going to beg. Wasn't going to give her the chance to lie to my face. I was going to let her enjoy her week at Clearwater Springs. And then I was going to end this marriage before she even realized what happened. I saved the email confirmation. Screenshot the location. Backed everything up to a folder on my laptop. Then I went back to work like nothing was wrong. Because as far as she knew, nothing was. The lawyer's name was Richard Steele. My brother had recommended him with one piece of advice. He doesn't waste time, and he doesn't sugarcoat anything. I called him Wednesday morning. Mr. Steele's office, how can I help you? I need to speak with him about filing for divorce. Soon as possible. He has an opening at 2 this afternoon. Can you make that? I'll be there. I took a half day from work. Told my manager I had a family emergency, which wasn't exactly a lie. Steele's office was downtown, 3rd floor of an older building. No fancy lobby, no expensive art on the walls. Just a waiting room with 3 chairs and a receptionist who looked like she'd seen every kind of divorce drama imaginable. He'll see you now. Steele was in his 50s, gray hair, sharp eyes. He shook my hand and gestured to a chair. So, tell me what's going on. I laid it out. The text message, the location tracking, the hotel reservation, the coworker's name, everything. He listened without interrupting, taking notes on a yellow legal pad. When I finished, he set down his pen. Do you own a home together? No. We rent. Lease is in both names. Joint bank accounts. One checking, one savings. My paycheck goes into my personal account first. Then I transfer money to the joint for bills. She does the same. Good. Makes it cleaner. Any kids? No. Even better. How long have you been married? For years. He nodded. Virginia's an equitable distribution state, but with no major assets and no children, this should be straightforward. Especially if she doesn't contest. She's going to contest. They usually do. But here's the thing. Adultery is still grounds for fault-based divorce in Virginia. You have proof. That changes the conversation. How fast can we move on this? I can have papers drafted by Friday. Question is, when do you want her served? I thought about it. She'd be at the resort until Sunday. Back home Monday. Can you deliver them to where she's staying? Steele raised an eyebrow. The resort. Bungalow 23. Clearwater Springs Resort. He leaned back in his chair, the hint of a smile on his face. That's bold. She wanted to spend a week there. I'm just making sure she gets the full experience. I like it. I'll have a process server deliver them Friday afternoon. She'll be served in person. Required by law. Perfect. One more thing, Steele said. Between now and then, act normal. Don't give her any indication you know. Don't move money around yet. Don't do anything that looks like you're hiding assets. When she gets those papers, you want everything to be airtight. Understood. And when she calls, and she will call, don't answer. Don't text back. Let her panic. It puts you in the stronger position. I stood up and shook his hand. Thank you. We'll get through this. I've seen worse. I left his office and drove home. Our apartment was quiet. Her coffee mug still sat in the sink from Monday morning. Her running shoes by the door. Little pieces of a life we'd built together. I didn't feel sad. Didn't feel angry. Just clear. That night, she texted me a photo. Her dad's living room, supposedly. Cozy fireplace, old armchair, a blanket draped over the side. He's doing better. Watching some old Western with him. I reverse image searched it. Stock photo from a home decor website. She wasn't even trying. I texted back, glad he's feeling better. You're a good daughter. Thursday came and went. She sent updates. Made him breakfast. We went for a short walk. He's napping now. I responded to each one. Supportive. Caring. Completely oblivious. Friday morning, I moved half the money from our joint savings into my personal account. My half. Nothing more. Took screenshots of the balances before and after. Then I waited. At 3:30, my phone rang. Unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. No message. 3 minutes later, her number flashed on my screen. I watched it ring, and ring, and ring. Then I silenced it and went back to work. By 5 o'clock, I had 6 missed calls and a dozen texts. I didn't read any of them. Instead, I poured myself a drink, sat on the couch, and turned on a basketball game. The phone kept buzzing. I turned it face down on the coffee table. Whatever she was saying, I didn't need to hear it. I already knew everything I needed to know. Friday night, I slept better than I had in months. Saturday morning, I woke up to 17 new missed calls. All from her. I deleted the notifications without looking at the messages. Made coffee. Scrambled some eggs. Ate breakfast while scrolling through apartment listings online. Our lease was up in 2 months anyway. Time to find something that was just mine. My phone rang again. Her number. I let it ring out. Then it rang again. And again. On the 4th attempt, I picked up. Hello. Are you serious right now? Her voice was shaking. Angry. Panicked. You filed for divorce? You had me served at a resort? Seemed like the appropriate place. You were already there. You don't understand. This isn't what it looks like. Bungalow 23. 7 days. You and Brandon Whitaker. What exactly am I misunderstanding? Silence. Then, how did you? Doesn't matter. What matters is you told me you were taking care of your sick father. I checked with Gerald yesterday, by the way. He's fine. Caught a 20-pound salmon last week. Showed me the photos again. You called my father? I wanted to make sure he was okay. You know, since you were so worried about him. You had no right. I had every right. I'm your husband. Or I was. Now I'm just the guy who's divorcing you. We can talk about this. I can explain. No need. The lawyer has everything he needs. Screenshots, hotel confirmation, location data. It's pretty straightforward. Her voice cracked. Please, just come up here. Let me explain face to face. I'm not driving 3 hours to watch you lie to me in person. I can get that over the phone for free. I made a mistake. It was stupid, but we can fix this. You didn't make a mistake. You planned a week-long trip with another man and lied about where you were going. That's not a mistake. That's a choice. You're really going to throw away 4 years over this? I'm not throwing anything away. You already did that when you booked Bungalow 23. I love you. I laughed. Couldn't help it. No, you don't. People who love each other don't do this. What about counseling? We could try. There's nothing to try. It's over. Sign the papers or don't. Either way, I'm done. You can't just... I hung up. The phone immediately started ringing again. I blocked her number. 10 minutes later, a different number called. I didn't recognize it. Answered anyway. Yeah. This is Brandon. Male voice. Nervous. Listen, man, I think we should talk. Brandon Whitaker? Yeah. Look, this whole thing got out of hand. I didn't mean for... Are you married, Brandon? Pause. That's not really. Simple question. Are you married? Yes, but... Then I hope your wife got served too. Have a good day. I hung up and blocked that number as well. By noon, I'd blocked 3 more numbers. Her sister, her best friend, someone claiming to be her co-worker who wanted to mediate. I didn't need mediation. I needed a divorce. Steele called around too. Just checking in. How are you holding up? Fine. She's called about 30 times. I blocked her. Good. Keep it that way. The more she panics, the more likely she is to make mistakes. Has she threatened anything? Not yet. Just a lot of begging and bargaining. Typical. Let her spiral. Don't engage. If she shows up at your place, don't let her in. If she causes a scene, call the police. Document everything. Will do. One more thing. I need you to come by the office Monday morning. We'll go over the financial disclosures and get everything filed with the court. I'll be there. I spent the rest of Saturday cleaning the apartment, bagged up her stuff from the bathroom, took down the photos of us from the walls, boxed up everything that was clearly hers. Wasn't trying to be cruel, just practical. She'd need her things eventually. Might as well have them ready. Sunday morning, I got a text from an unknown number. This is Gerald. I don't know what happened between you two, but my daughter is hysterical. She needs you. I typed back, ask her where she spent the last week. Then ask yourself if I'm the problem here. He didn't respond. By Sunday evening, my phone showed 39 blocked call attempts from various numbers. 39. I poured myself a drink and turned on the TV. Tomorrow, she'd come home to an apartment that was half empty and locks that had been changed. And I'd be at the lawyer's office, making sure this divorce went through as fast as legally possible. For years of marriage ending in 1 week. Seemed fitting, considering that's how long her trip was supposed to last. Monday morning started with a knock on the door at 6:30. I was already up, coffee in hand, getting ready for my meeting with Steele. Looked through the peephole. Her. She knocked again. Harder. I know you're in there. Your car is outside. We need to talk. I sipped my coffee and said nothing. Please, just open the door. 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. I walked back to the kitchen, refilled my mug, and checked the time. Meeting was at 9. I had plenty of time. The knocking continued for another 10 minutes. Then stopped. I heard her voice, muffled, talking to someone on the phone. Couldn't make out the words. Didn't need to. 15 minutes later, I left through the back entrance the building used for trash pickup. Got in my car and drove to Steele's office without looking back. He had the paperwork ready. Financial disclosures. Asset division. Everything documented and organized. She tried to contact you? He asked. Showed up at the apartment this morning. I didn't answer. Smart. Keep doing that. Now let's talk timeline. Virginia requires a 6-month separation period for no-fault divorce. But since we're filing on grounds of adultery, we can expedite. Still takes about 60 days minimum for court processing, but we can have everything finalized within 3 months if she cooperates. And if she doesn't, then it takes longer and costs more. Her choice. I signed where he indicated. Initialed. Dated. The mechanical process of ending a marriage. One thing I want to address, Steele said. The apartment. You said the lease is in both names. Yeah. Up for renewal in 2 months. Don't renew. Find your own place. Let her figure out what she wants to do. You're not responsible for her housing situation anymore. Already looking. Good. Also, cancel any joint credit cards. Remove her as an authorized user on anything with your name on it. Close that joint checking account once all the bills clear. Keep records of everything. Done. He leaned back. You're handling this better than most people do. I saw it coming. Maybe not this exactly, but something. What do you mean? I thought about the last few months. The patterns I'd ignored because it was easier than facing them. Back in January, she started working late. 2, 3 times a week. Said they were short-staffed. I believed her. Then she changed her phone password. Said it was for work security. I believed that too. When did you stop believing? February. We were supposed to meet some friends for dinner. She canceled last minute. Work emergency. I drove by her office on my way home. Parking lot was empty. I called her. She answered in a noisy environment. Said she was at the office. Told me she'd make it up to me. Steele nodded, taking notes. March. She started going to the gym. 5 mornings a week. Came home showered and energized. Thought it was great. Healthy. Then I noticed she never brought her gym bag inside. Always left it in the car. Did you check it? Eventually. Last week. There was workout gear in there. Also a change of nicer clothes. Makeup bag. Perfume. For seeing him. Yeah. I confronted her about the gym thing. Asked why she needed extra clothes. She said sometimes she met co-workers for coffee after. Perfectly innocent explanation. And I wanted to believe it. But you didn't. Part of me did. The other part started paying attention. She'd come home and her hair would smell different. Not like sweat. Like hotel shampoo. She'd mention conversations with people from work, but the details never quite lined up. Small things. Easy to dismiss individually. Death by 1,000 cuts. Exactly. Then last week, I saw a notification on her phone while she was in the shower. Text from someone saved as Brooke from HR. The message said can't wait for next week. Just that. But something about it felt wrong. I opened her phone. She'd left it unlocked and saw the message thread. Except it wasn't Brooke from HR. It was Brandon. She'd changed his contact name. What did the messages say? Plans for the trip. What to pack. How excited they were. He called her baby. She sent him heart emojis. The whole thing. Did you confront her then? No. I screenshot everything. Sent it to myself. Deleted the evidence that I'd looked. Then I waited. Because I knew if I confronted her, she'd have an excuse ready. She'd spin it somehow. Make me the bad guy for not trusting her. So you let her go on the trip. I let her think I had no idea. Let her commit fully. No chance to backtrack or claim it was just emotional cheating. She spent 6 nights in that bungalow with him. That's evidence nobody can explain away. Steele smiled. You played it smart. Most people blow up immediately. Scream, cry, throw things. You documented and strategized. I wasn't going to give her the satisfaction of seeing me beg. She made her choice. I made mine. Well, your approach is going to save you time and money. She doesn't have a leg to stand on. I left his office an hour later with copies of everything. Drove to a storage facility and rented a unit. Spent the afternoon moving my stuff out of the apartment. Clothes, electronics, important documents. Left the furniture. Left the kitchen supplies. Left everything that didn't matter. By evening, my car was packed and the apartment looked like a hotel room. My phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. Please talk to me. I'll do anything. I'll quit my job. We can move. Start fresh. Just give me a chance. I deleted it. Another text came through. You're being cruel. I made a mistake, but you're acting like I killed someone. I turned off my phone and drove to my brother's place across town. He opened the door, took one look at me, and stepped aside. She cheated? Yeah. You filed? Yeah. Beers in the fridge. That's why I like my brother. No judgment. No lectures. Just beer and silence. I stayed there that night. Slept on his couch. Woke up Tuesday morning to 18 new texts and 11 voicemails. I didn't read or listen to any of them. Instead, I called a realtor about an apartment I'd seen listed online. Fresh start. Clean slate. Exactly what I needed. Wednesday afternoon, she showed up at my workplace. Security called my extension. There's someone here to see you. Says she's your wife. Tell her I'm in a meeting. She's insisting. Says it's urgent. Tell her to leave or I'll have her escorted out. 5 minutes later, my manager stopped by my desk. Everything okay? Security said there was a situation. Personal matter. It's handled. Let me know if you need anything. I appreciated that. No prying. No drama. Just professional concern. That evening, I met 3 mutual friends at a sports bar. Connor, Austin, and Garrett. Guys I'd known since college. Connor got there first. Ordered a pitcher before I even sat down. So, heard some things through the grapevine. Want to talk about it? She cheated. I filed. That's the summary. Austin arrived, caught the tail end. Seriously? With who? Guy from her work. They spent last week at a couple's resort while she told me she was taking care of her sick father. That's cold. Yeah. Garrett showed up, already knowing. Her sister called my girlfriend. Tried to get her to convince me to talk to you. Said you're being unreasonable. Unreasonable how? Something about not giving her a chance to explain. That you're throwing away the marriage over a misunderstanding. I laughed. Misunderstanding. Right. Because accidentally spending 6 nights with another man at a resort happens all the time. Her family's trying to control the narrative, Connor said. Making you the bad guy. Let them. I have proof. Hotel reservations, location data, text messages. She can spin it however she wants. Facts don't change. You need anything? Austin asked. Place to stay? Help moving. I'm good. Staying with my brother temporarily. Found a place I'm signing for next week. What about the apartment you shared? Lease is up soon. I'm not renewing. She can figure it out. My phone buzzed. Her mother's name appeared. I declined the call. That's the 4th time today, I said. Her whole family is trying to reach me. You talked to any of them? Her dad texted Sunday. I told him to ask his daughter where she spent the week. He hasn't reached out since. Garrett poured another round. You're handling this better than I would. What's the alternative? Yell? Beg her to come back? She showed me exactly who she is. I'm just responding accordingly. Thursday morning, I got an email from her sister. Long emotional. Talking about family and forgiveness and how everyone makes mistakes. I forwarded it to Steele without responding. He called 10 minutes later. Don't reply to these. Any communication from her or her family goes straight to me. You stay silent. Understood. Also, I got a call from her lawyer this morning. She hired someone? Dennis Morton. He's decent. Not great, but decent. He wants to negotiate terms. What kind of terms? She's willing to sign quickly if you agree to split everything 50-50, including your savings. She wants half my money. That's the opening offer. It's standard posturing. She has no leverage, but her lawyer has to try. What do we counter with? We offer her nothing except what's legally required. She gets half the joint account, which is basically empty now anyway. She gets her personal belongings. That's it. Your savings, your car, your investments. All separate property that she has no claim to. And if she fights it, then we go to court and present the adultery evidence. The judge will side with you. Virginia courts don't look kindly on cheating spouses, especially when it's this documented. She'll lose and pay more in legal fees. Send the counter. Friday, I signed the lease on my new place. 1 bedroom, 10th floor, view of the river. Clean. Simple. Mine. Spent the weekend moving in properly. My brother helped. We didn't talk much, just hauled boxes and assembled furniture. By Sunday evening, the place looked like home. Monday morning, she was waiting outside the building when I left for work. We need to talk. No, we don't. You can't avoid me forever. I'm not avoiding you. I'm ignoring you. There's a difference. I deserve a chance to explain. You had 4 years to be honest with me. You chose lies. That's all the explanation I need. I love you. You love the idea of not being the bad guy. You love the stability I provided. You don't love me. If you did, you wouldn't have been at Clearwater Springs with Brandon. It was a mistake. Booking a resort room is a mistake. Lying about your father being sick is a mistake. Spending 6 nights with another man is a mistake. At what point does it stop being a mistake and start being who you genuinely are? She started crying. Why are you being so cruel? I'm not being cruel. I'm being clear. This marriage is over. Sign the papers and move on. What if I don't? Then we go to court. I show the judge everything. You lose anyway, but it costs both of us more time and money. Your choice. I walked past her to my car. She called after me. Everyone thinks you're handling this wrong. Even your friends. I stopped. Turned around. Which friends? She didn't answer. Yeah, that's what I thought. You're lying again. Just like you lied about your dad. Just like you lied about where you were. You can't help yourself. I got in my car and drove away. In the rearview mirror, I saw her standing there, phone in hand. Probably calling someone else to complain about how unreasonable I was being. Didn't matter. In 3 months, she'd be someone else's problem. And I'd be free. 3 months later, I sat in the courthouse waiting for my name to be called. Steele sat beside me, reviewing documents one last time. She signed everything last week. No contest. This is just a formality now. Good. Across the hallway, she sat with Morton. Didn't look my direction once. Her hair was different. Shorter. She looked tired. Brandon wasn't there. I'd heard through Connor that his wife had filed immediately after finding out. Word around their office was that he'd been transferred to a different department. Damage control. The judge called our case. We stood. Approached the bench. The whole thing took 12 minutes. Divorce granted. Assets divided as agreed. Case closed. That was it. 4 years of marriage dissolved in less time than it takes to watch a sitcom. Outside the courthouse, Steele shook my hand. You handled this well. Most people make it harder on themselves. I just wanted it done. It's done. Good luck with everything. I drove back to my apartment. The place I'd built without her. No shared memories. No arguments about decorating. Just my space. Work had been good. I'd thrown myself into a project that had been stalling for months. Finished it 2 weeks early. Got recognized in the quarterly meeting. My manager had hinted at a promotion coming in the spring. Weekends, I'd started hiking again. Something I'd stopped doing years ago because she never wanted to go. Drove out to Shenandoah, spent Saturdays on trails, came back exhausted and clear-headed. I'd reconnected with people I'd drifted away from. Accepted invitations I would have declined before. Went to a concert. Took a weekend trip to Nashville with Austin and Garrett. Lived without constantly checking my phone or worrying about someone else's schedule. 2 weeks after the divorce finalized, I ran into her at a grocery store. She was in the produce section. Looked up. Froze. I nodded. Kept walking. Wait. I stopped. Turned. How are you? Fine. You. Managing. She shifted her weight. I'm staying with my sister. Temporarily. Okay. I wanted to say I'm sorry. For everything. I know it doesn't change anything, but I needed you to hear it. All right. That's it. Just all right. What do you want me to say? I accept your apology. I forgive you. We can be friends. I don't know. Something other than acting like I'm a stranger. You are a stranger. You were someone I thought I knew. Turns out I didn't. Now we're divorced. That makes you a stranger. That's harsh. No, that's accurate. She looked down. I heard you got promoted. Not yet. Soon, probably. That's good. You deserve it. Thanks. Silence stretched between us. I really am sorry, she said again. I believe you're sorry things didn't work out the way you wanted. I believe you're sorry you got caught. I don't believe you're sorry for what you did. Because if you were, you wouldn't have done it in the first place. That's not fair. Fair would have been you being honest with me when you started having feelings for someone else. Fair would have been you ending our marriage before starting something with Brandon. You don't get to talk to me about fair. I grabbed a card and walked away. Heard her call my name once. Didn't turn around. At the checkout, my phone buzzed. Text from Connor. Poker night Friday. You in? Yeah. I'll bring beer. Perfect. See you then. I loaded groceries into my car. Drove home through the city as the sun set behind the buildings. Back at my apartment, I put everything away. Made dinner. Ate while watching a game. My phone stayed quiet. No desperate texts. No blocked numbers. No family members trying to guilt me. Just silence. The good kind. I thought about the guy I was 6 months ago. Walking on thin ice. Ignoring obvious signs. Convincing himself everything was fine. That version of me would have been miserable right now. Probably would have taken her back. Probably would have spent years wondering if she was cheating again. This version of me was better, stronger, clearer. Not because I was trying to prove something, but because I'd finally stopped accepting less than I deserved. She'd wanted the excitement of sneaking around, the thrill of a resort getaway, the fantasy of starting over with someone new. She got it. For 6 days. Then she got divorce papers, a ruined reputation, and a couch at her sister's place. Meanwhile, I got my life back. Better job, better apartment, better version of myself. Some people might call that karma. I just called it consequences. She made her choice. I made mine. And I'd make the same choice again without hesitation. Friday came. Poker night. I showed up with a case of beer and $20 in chips. Lost it all by midnight. Didn't care. Drove home laughing at a joke Garrett had told about his disaster of a first date that week. Pulled into my parking spot. Walked upstairs. Unlocked my door. My apartment. My space. My life. No shared calendar. No compromises. No wondering where someone else was or who they were with. Just me. And that was enough. More than enough. It was exactly what I needed.